And there we are. Hello, welcome. I'm Tom Sinclair, and this is Streaming Idiots. Somebody was making a comment in the Facebook group for Streaming Idiots earlier today saying, I really hate to tell people about this show and about this group because it's kind of like Streaming Idiots. That doesn't sound very professional or, very polished or very appealing, actually. And I agree. I do agree. We're not going to change the name, but I do agree. It's not very professional. It's not very polished. But it's a good idea. It's a good idea because the idea is that we're lowering the bar. We're lowering the expectations. Anybody can come in and join. It's okay to come in and feel like an idiot because you don't understand what's going on. And as you learn the stuff, gradually you build your confidence. And, there's nothing worse than going into a party and being the dumbest guy in the room. Happens to me all the time. But, it's nice when you go into the party and you're the dumbest guy in the room and the smartest guy in the room says, oh, come on over here. We're all idiots. That's the kind of attitude that we're trying to have in this show and in the Facebook group. And, of course, that's the attitude that I want to take in my business. Let's do the infomercial disclosure part right off the bat, shall we, and get that out of the way before we forget. The entire show is a huge infomercial. Hopefully it's more info and less mercial, but let's get the mercial part out of the way. I'm Tom Sinclair. I am the proprietor of EasternShoreBroadcasting.com. EasternShoreBroadcasting.com. In addition to many things, we design and build streaming PCs for folks literally all over the world. So if you're tired of your off-the-shelf product or maybe something that you built yourself or somebody built for you and it's just not clicking, give me a call, shoot me an email, come to EasternShoreBroadcasting.com and go to the contact page and shoot me a note and I'd be happy to talk with you. Yeah, of course I'm expensive, but I'm not as expensive as failure. That's for sure. Hey, we also represent PTZ Optics, who we'll be talking about today, Magewell, vMix, Marshall cameras, and of course our good old friends at X-Keys. That's a controller. I'm working with the XK24 today and having a lot of fun with it. Somebody's saying, has Tom mounted his camera on something not stable? Well, yeah, I need to do a studio tour and show you about all the baling wire and chewing gum that we're using to hold this thing together. I guess you don't use baling wire anymore. You use twist ties and zip ties. So, yeah, that's me. Today's show is going to be mostly 99% about the upgrade that I did this week on my PTZ Optics camera. I got a pre-release version of the firmware for the camera that allows me to make it NDI ready, and then I got an NDI license key. So I'm going to walk you through all that process. That's going to take most of the show. And then at the tail end of the show, I want to announce the winner of our logo contest. Yes, it's too late to enter now. We've already picked a winner, but we had some really spectacular entries, and we'll show you those. And one last piece of, we're out of the commercial part now. We're in the info part. One last piece is that the second Tuesday of every month is Microsoft Patch Day. As Rich always reminds us, it's Patch Day coming up. Well, yesterday was supposed to be the day when the big patch was released. The patch that was supposed to prevent entire mayhem and internet meltdown from happening. I guess it worked. We're here. I don't know if I'm any slower or faster than I've ever been. It's not distinguishable as a difference, let's put it that way. But I will say that I don't think I got that patch yesterday. How about that? The only patch I got yesterday was a malicious tool removal patch, which I get every Tuesday, and a Windows Defender update. That's all I got. Now, I looked back, and on January 4th, which was 6 days ago, I got a big update, and I'm betting the Mayhem update came to me on the 4th. Yep. So that's right. Michael's saying that Windows 10 was last week and Windows 7 and 8 is this week. So, yep, I already been patched. And in fact, I had a system I was building for a great church out in California, and I held back their system until we got the update yesterday, just to make sure that the update didn't break anything before we shipped them their system. So Ted, that's going out ASAP. Anyway, that's all the stuff. So let's get into the NDI. And so I do want to introduce my special guest today, and with no further ado, we'll bring them in. Boom! Our special guest today is the PTZ, actually the model number PT12X SDI G2. And I guess we ought to cross out the SDI because now he's NDI. Yes, he is NDI. It is so cool. You want to see what it looks like? Let me throw up a desktop capture. I didn't have this ready, but I knew I did want to do it. So let me throw up a quick desktop capture so I can show you what he looks like. I think this is display 1. Let's see. Nope, that's not it. Sit tight with me. Sorry, this is the idiot part of the show. Just be patient, Rich. I'm getting there. Golly gee. Okay, there we go. All right, so here is, one second. I'm going to show you my desktop. This is my desktop. Boom. Yeah, I love that stinger. And yes, I'm now kind of over here in preview, and the desktop is way over there in output, and you can see all my little inputs down below. And what we're going to do is we're going to add an input. So in vMix, to add an input, we go to the bottom left-hand corner, click Add Input, and we're going to add an NDI desktop capture input. Bottom bump bump. And we're going to scroll down until we get to the one that says PTZ Optics Camera. Ooh, there it is. And it's channel 1, which happens to be the name of the camera. I can rename it, but I haven't done that yet. So let's bring that in as an input. And there it is. Hello guys. Hello guys. A little bit of a delay there, but it is NDI. And so we can also take that input. This is the fun part, and we can go into the PTZ control, and we can go to the PTZ Optics Visca UDP. We can find the IP address of the camera, which I think is that one. We can connect to it, and now we've got control. Yep, you can see my backlight and my mic. We'll create an input there. We'll go back to home and create another input there. And then, let's see. Can we zoom most of the way around? You see my mess? That's my new monitor. And we'll create an input there. So, let's put, yeah, we got the PTZ camera. So we've got 3 inputs down here at the bottom. Plus the control, the camera itself. So I'm going to go back to the home. That's me right here. Boom, there we go. And then I'll go to the backlight. That's me, or the backlight. And then I'll go all the way back around to the multi-view. And I can go in and adjust the speed. There is a PTZ Optics, or excuse me, an NDI monitor app that allows you to control the camera, and it is just, it is just sweet. Now this is, let's go back to home for just a second. And actually there's no reason for me to show you guys the desktop anymore, so let's cut back to the show. And you can see my little Logitech C920 right there, which is showing the guest cam, as it were. Let's go back to the guest cam. Yeah, there we go. And so this is all over Ethernet. This is not wireless. I'm hooked into my network. It is ndi-hx. This is not the, I don't know how we're going to differentiate in the future between them, but this is not what I would call full NDI. So this is not a 100 megabit stream over my Ethernet right now. It's about a 10 or 12 megabit stream. Let me show you the interface on that, and then I want to run the video and show you how we did all this. So let's bring the interface up to the 4, and let me bring that in so you can see. Is that it? No. That's supposed to be it, but it's not. Well, let's go there. All right. So that's the interface. And we're on the video page. You can see on the left-hand side, there are some different menus we can go to. We're on the video page. And that's where we have the ability to set the NDI mode. And so we've got the NDI mode. Let's see if we can go to a higher version of this. Well, I thought we had one, but it's not working. So sorry about that. So we've got 3 different modes. We've got high, medium, and low. We also have off, but I don't really count that as a mode. High allows us to do 1080. Well, let me switch it off for just a second, and then we'll turn it back to high. And you notice that it sets a resolution for 1920 by 1080, a bit rate of 12,288. So that's going to be about 12 megs. At a frame rate of 60 frames a second. Well, I don't want to do 60 frames a second, so I'm going to set it back to medium, which is the same resolution, 1920 by 1080. The bit rate is down to about 8 megs, and the frame rate is down to 30, which is what I'm set for. So there are lots of different adjustments here. Let's see, I think low allows us to set for 1280 by 720, 60 frames a second. And there's this clincher up here at the very top. There's a 720p 120 frame per second mode that I could turn it into. I'm not going to turn it into that. Actually, I need to play with that. Maybe we'll play with that a little bit in the post show. So stick around for the post show. So this is the interface where you enable the NDI mode. And that is that. The process of doing this upgrade was really interesting. My good friend Matt Davis, who is the chief engineer at PTZ Optics, sent me detailed instructions on how to update the firmware, which is the first step, and then how to enter my license key. So it's just like vMix or Wirecast or other software where you would enter a license key. There's a unique key for this camera based on its serial number and MAC address. And so he sent me that in a PDF. And so funny story. I printed the PDF. What I didn't realize was that the PDF had some hot links in it. So when I got to those parts, anyway, let me just show you the video. It's really pretty funny. Let's see, we have that video queued up. Yes, here we go. All right, and let's see if we can go with that. But some audio would be nice, wouldn't it? Let's start that again, shall we? Restart. And what did we do wrong on that? Let's go back here, and we'll find the audio for that one. Well, let's just do that. What do you say? Let's try that again. Hey, I'm in the studio today, and I've got an interesting project. I've got a new PTZ Optics 12X SDI Gen 2 PTZ camera, of course, and I have the new PTZ Optics NDI ready firmware to install on the camera so that I can install my new NDI license key so that the camera can be an NDI camera. I'm really stoked about that, and join with me as I do that. We're going to go through step by step the whole thing warts and all, my successes and my failures. So hold tight, let's take a look. Okay, we're going to do this as kind of an unboxing. So here's the unboxing. This camera has not been opened before. You can see I've got all sorts of nice information here about Huddle Cam, and then the owner's manual version 1.0. I think they need to update that a little bit. And power cord, batteries, remote control, batteries go in that. The other portion of power, and what looks like a control cable. And then nice cutout foam. There's our cam, and we're just going to take two hands. Okay, so now we've got the camera out where we can handle it. Let's get the bag off and get the camera out. Ooh, nice lens cap. Let's take that off. Nice soft ply. Well, that's a good long-term lens cap. Not like the clear plastic ones they used to come with. So let's get the box out of the way and get this camera ready to hook up. We need Ethernet and we need power. So we have power right here. We need two hands for this. Or maybe we just need a right hand. There we go. This is jungle video here, guys. This is just crude. Alright, so we got power. Now we need internet, or network rather. And keep our fingers crossed that this guy will power on. Yeah, he does his happy dance there. Say, I'm happy to be here with Streaming Idiots. But he has his back to me, so maybe he's not too happy. Okay, let's go install some software. Okay, now our first step is to download the upgrade version 2X tool, and we'll go to PTZ Optics. PTZ Optics, there we go. And we'll go to Resources, Downloads, Downloads page, and we'll get the IP address setting tool. And that's downloading right there. The current version is 2.2, and that's 31 megs. And while that downloads, we'll see, please note the existing network configuration of the compatible camera for use later. The current IP address, network mask, gateway, DNS. Once the camera's been located, right-click on the list and select Backup. Now click the back OK. So let's go get this tool and install it. There it is. And I'll tell you what. Let's go here. And we're going to extract it first. And then we will find the upgrade. There it is down there at the bottom. And we will bring up the tool right there, and we will search. And sometimes my experience has been that there's a hidden menu here. There it is. So we want to allow access. And we'll try again with our search. And it finds our camera. Pretty much the standard camera setting for a new PTZ Optics camera, 192.168.100.88. But we'll go ahead and write all that stuff down just in case. 192. This is the true whole step by step. 68, 188. Network mask 255.255.255.0. Gateway is 192.168.100.1, and the current DNS is, we'll do the, why don't we could just take pictures of all this stuff right here. There we go. Okay, so if we need it, we'll come back and get it here. Alright, so once compatible camera's been located, right click on it in the list and select backup. So let's go back over to here. Devices, right click, select backup. Okay, blah 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 blah. Backup. Click the backup button. Says backup file exists, backup status timed out. Okay, well, we didn't have good success with the backup because apparently there was a little disconnect between IP addresses. So I went into my local area network, went to properties, went to Internet Protocol version 4, TCP/IPv4, went to properties and changed the, and went from a automatic IP address to a static IP address on the same net with the camera, 192.168.100, and then I assigned 101 to my PC with the same subnet mask as the camera and the same default gateway as the camera, and clicked OK, clicked close, went back to config, searched and found my camera, went to backup, had to put in the address 192.168.100.88, that's the one of the camera, and then did a backup, and now got backup success. So that was a little problematic, but we got through it. So now the next step in the directions is to go back to the search tab, right click, select upgrade, go to the type tab, or excuse me, the type field, select MDT, and now we'll go to the next page of directions. It says the camera's IP address should be shown in the text box to the right, and that is 192.168.100.88. Click Query to ensure you have proper communication with the camera. Okay, looks like I do. Got a bunch of information there. Click the Open button and navigate to the folder location for the new firmware files. Well, we better go find that. Hang on. Okay, got hung up here at this line that says please use that for this particular model. And since I printed this out, I didn't realize that that was a hot link that I could have clicked, and it would have gone right straight to it. So I copied it to a thumb drive since it was looking at it on a second PC, and it's now sitting in a folder right there, and I have opened it here, and so now we're going to click the upgrade button. Let's see what happens. Waiting for upgrade to start. This is so exciting. 47%, 70%, 85%. Now I did get a warning from Paul Richards that it tends to get stuck at about, or appear to get stuck at about 90%. We're here at 85 and it's just kind of sitting there. So we'll come back in just a minute. Okay, it's been about 3 minutes and we've gone up to 98% from 85%, and the camera over there just reset itself. So something is cooking here. Something is cooking. 98%, and we are continuing to wait, and wait we shall. And after about another minute, I heard a click at the camera. The upgrade percentage went to 100 with the message upgrade success. So we're going to click OK and go back to our instructions. The instructions do say this update process can take a few minutes, so please be patient through the updating. Apparently this is the part right here where people are very likely to get impatient and restart it, and if they do, they will brick their camera. Okay, so we'll click on the search tab again. So we'll click on the search tab right there, and then click on the search button right there, and there's our camera still there. You should now see the upgraded camera reset to its factory default IP settings. Okay, right click on the camera, says the directions, and select config. Okay, now assign the camera the IP address network gateway mask first DNS as you recorded before. Well, that looks pretty darn exactly like what we had before. Yep. So we're not changing anything. So we'll go to the next page of the directions. Now we're on page 3. Click Set. Well, we didn't do anything, but we'll follow the directions. Set success, and that should cause a little camera to reset there. The camera will reboot. It says navigate back to the search tab and press the search button again. Alright, so we're at search. We'll search again. There's our camera. It says locate the compatible camera in the list and right click on it, selecting backup. There's backup. Now click the restore button. Restore. Once completed, the camera will reboot one more time. Well, restore didn't work. Or at least it doesn't appear to have worked. It says, note that sometimes the restore will fail. Just click the backup button another few times if it fails to complete this step. Selecting the type drop down in the lower right hand of the program to type 2 or vice versa can sometimes fix this depending on your network configuration. Okay. Well, we see type down here, so we'll go to type 2 and we'll say restore. Ah, something happened there. We're connected. But are we doing anything? Connected. Exist. We'll be patient. Actually, you know, when it did the backup, it was pretty quick. Let's try again. Restore. Type 1. Restore. Ah, there we go. Restoring. That looks promising. So we'll wait for the restoring process to complete. Now the notes that I'm following as we wait for that to complete, they do say, when we were doing the backup process before, it says, note, this step is very important to retain proper focus capabilities. So we definitely want to continue to have good focus, both for our camera and in our personal lives. Restore success, click OK. Now let's go back to our instructions. You can't get in a hurry and skip steps, or you're going to have a doorstop. It says, now you'll need to install the latest driver. Please use this download to get the latest driver. Okay, we've downloaded this file, put it on a thumb drive, and put it on this PC. And there it is, right there. So let's go ahead and fire it up and see what happens. Do I want to allow that to make changes to the rest of my life? Probably I do. And I'm going to accept the NDI software license and limited warranty. Didn't realize it had a warranty. That's pretty cool. It wants to install this at the NewTek ndi-hx driver location. Okay. Select components you want to install. Clear the components you do not want to install. Virtual camera. Well, that sounds cool. Studio monitor and access manager. Well, we better install them all. It's 22.8 megabytes. And then select the additional tasks you would like set up to perform while installing NewTek driver installation. Run NDI virtual input at system startup. Well, let's give that a shot, shall we? Now, are you ready to install? Yes. Have at it. Once fully installed, you should be able to use the newly installed Studio Monitor software to license the camera as an NDI source. Well, let's see. Updating system settings, x86. Now, all of this is prior to the big Intel dust-up, so we'll see. Would you like to install this device software? Yes. Install it. Installing kernel streamers? Yes. Restart the computer now. Well, I guess we better do that. How else will we know if it worked? Be right back. Okay, we have installed this software, and let's see if we can go find it. NewTek, there we go, and it's the monitor. Oh, there we go. Okay, and boy, there's no anything on this thing to help you. Let's just see if we've got a little menu here in the top left corner, right there. PTZ optics camera, channel 1, and this appeared in the bottom right hand corner, right there, to register, and it pops up a menu in the middle, and see what our instructions say again. Yep. Oh, I got you. Now we've got to go to the email instructions. I'm assuming that the final instructions will be just a little bit better. So we want option 2, where I will enter the NDI license key that they have provided at the bottom of the email, which is right there under my finger. So sorry to keep it secret, but you know, it's a key. What can I say? Let me enter that right here under number 2, and let's see what happens. Well, this is what happened. Unable to register camera. Please check that you have ndi-hx compatible firmware. So maybe we have a problem somewhere. We will check and get back. Well, with a little finagling, my camera is now licensed for use with ndi-hx. I had to go in and change the IP address of the camera because for some reason it wasn't connecting to the internet through my network. So this process still has a couple of tweaks that needs to be made to it, or else it needs to have somebody walk through it that's walked through it a time or two before. Okay, so this is the camera image, and this is the NewTek NDI monitor, and there's my mouse in the middle, and you can see it popped up this little screen over here. And I'm going to hold down my mouse key. Oops, let's bring that back up. And can you see the little blue dot there? I'm going to use that little blue dot with my mouse to cause the camera to scroll and move, and it is just sweet smooth. Sweet smooth. We're going up and down and all around, and the camera is just operating like it was just on butter. It's butter. That's sweet. Okay, now let's see how it'll do in vMix. So let's close the monitor, and we'll open vMix. And we will go add an input, and an NDI input, and there's our camera right there under NDI, and we'll click OK, and pow, there it is right there. So we can go into the settings in vMix. Let's try this and go to PTZ and go to PTZ Optics, put in the address. Let's see, that one's close. Oh, there it is right there. Must have used that address before. Connect. We connected. Now can we move the camera? Yes. We don't have the smooth control because we've got just the kind of the, not a joystick control, but just a directional control there. But let's go ahead and make an input at that direction, at that location, and then we'll swing back around and put another one there, and then we'll come down and put a third one there, and then let's see what happens. Yep, now we've got all those. So that's our third one right there. That's our second one. And that's our first one. So we have the same kind of PTZ control in vMix now over NDI that we had before. No change there. It's just that the signal is coming in this case, over Ethernet. And let's see what the latency is. See if we can find, let's go back to camera control and see me. And I'll dish out here. Wow, that's like SDI. I'm loving it. I am loving it. Take a look. Tapping myself on the head. All right, so we have successfully upgraded a PTZ Optics 12X Gen 2 camera. We upgraded the firmware to NDI ready firmware, and then we installed an NDI/HX license key, and we now have an NDI camera. Wow. Okay. Hey, I'm in the studio today, and I've got an interesting project. I've got a new PTZ Optic Oops, hold on. There we go. So that was supposed to be the ending video. I edited in the wrong clip. You get the idea that it is a task that is, you know, one step after another, one step after another, one step after another, one step after another. And the times that I tripped up were times that I imagine probably more than half the folks out there will trip up as well. And almost all of those had to do with network settings on my PC or network settings on the camera, and either the camera or my network recognizing each other so that certain things could work. The times where I was trying to get it to back up or to restore, or the time when I was trying to get it to enter the license key, were all network issues. So Amnon says that I should take you guys through that again. Did you want to see that again? Really? No. I'll post it later so you can watch it. So it's, you know, it's not point and click and, you know, and come back later and it's done. It's a tedious process. Could the process be better? Yes, but it only needs to be done once. Now we are offering, we're back to the commercial again. We are offering in our store at Eastern Shore Broadcasting the NDI upgrade. If you already have a PTZ Optics Gen 2 camera, the upgrade for that is generally $600. For now, until it's finally released, the price is half of that, $300. So if you would like that, go to easternshorebroadcasting.com. You can buy it there. If you would like me to install it for you, you can ship me your camera. I'll install it and ship it back to you at no extra charge other than just the shipping. So what is that, 10, 15 bucks? So that's an open deal for anybody that buys the NDI update and wants to buy it from me and have me do the update for them. We'll do it for free. Just cover the shipping. If you'll cover the shipping of the camera to us and from us. So that'll be pretty cool. I think this is going to be neat. I think it's going to be pretty exciting. Oh, and let me bring my guest in again so that you guys can take a look. He looks just like a regular camera. I mean, you wouldn't know it unless you looked really, really closely. Not really. And yes, you can do PoE, you can do control. We've got video transport, and it's pretty darn amazing. Pretty darn amazing. And one of the interesting things about this is that PTZ Optics has kind of thrown an extra bone in by giving us the option of 1080p 60 and 720p 120. 720p 120. I'm thinking right now, you know, we got to get Martin at vMix to allow a 120 frame per second camera input in instant replay so we can slow it down. We can slow it down quarter speed and still have 30 frames a second. So it'll be like butter. Like butter. Okay, we'll talk a little bit more about this in post-show. Let's go. We're going to switch gears for just a second, and we're going to switch gears using the Stinger. Yes, indeedy. It's time for the logo announcement. So if you are here live, you don't have to be live to have won, but if you made an entry into the logo contest, let me get to the logo entries here. I wanted to show you what the entries were. We had 10 entries. And so let me just sort of fast forward through them. Here we go. Number one. This was a logo contest for a logo for my company, Eastern Shore Broadcasting. Let's go to logo number 2. And we are a very sunny place down in the south, so I guess that's what the sun is for. Our slogan is "We are all about streaming," so they've incorporated it there. And then there's some graphics based on the initials. And then one with a microphone, and not sure what that other thing is going off to the right. And then ones that's again based on the initials. This one based on a camera lens, I believe, and some waves because we're right here on the shore. And then one based on initials. And then I kind of liked that one. I had a hard time. That was one of the finalists. And then this one, which I liked a lot too. But the winner was, let's see, the winner was this one, Eastern Shore Broadcasting. We're all about streaming. Kyle Wilcox submitted that one. And so Kyle, if you will, well, you don't have to do anything. I'll send you an email letting you know that you won. Congratulations. And you get your choice between a vMix HD license, a Magewell USB, HDMI, or SDI, what is it called, a dongle, or $300 cash credit in the Eastern Shore Broadcasting store. So you can go to Eastern Shore Broadcasting and pick out anything you want, and just if it's more than $300, you pay the difference. So congratulations to Kyle Wilcox. Before we go, I do want to give a big shout out to Scott Piana, who is our instructor starting tonight for our sales and marketing class for rookies. It's not too late. We do have a few chairs available in the class. It's an online class. Meets every Wednesday evening at 8 p.m. for about an hour and a half. It goes for 6 weeks and takes you through all of the basics of sales and marketing. It's sales and marketing for rookies, and of course with an emphasis in live streaming. So if you felt like, golly, I wish I knew more about the sales process. I got the tech part down, but how do I approach somebody? Who do I approach? How do I approach them? How much should I charge? All those kinds of things are going to be in Scott's class that will start tonight. So it's not too late to sign up. If you want to sign up, go to easternshorebroadcasting.com, go to the store, look for the live streaming rookie series classes, and it will be the one on sales and marketing. And you let's put it this way, you won't regret having taken it. It will be knowledge that you will continue to use. And you know, knowledge, as you use knowledge, it turns into wisdom. But you got to have the knowledge first. So come on in. It's 8 o'clock tonight. If you have any questions, you can shoot me an email, tom@easternshorebroadcasting.com. Use the contact form there, or just flat out sign up for the class there. So guys, it's been great bringing you this information today. If you're watching live, hang on around and for the post show. If you're watching us after the fact, we'd love to have you come watch us live on Wednesday afternoons. It's Wednesday afternoons at 3 o'clock Eastern time in the U.S. And come on, if you're watching us on YouTube, subscribe. If you've watched this long, you may as well subscribe. If you're watching us on Facebook, next time you got to come to easternshorebroadcasting.com so that you can get in on the chat room. Of course, that's if you watch it live. And I would point out, we have a great Facebook group called Streaming Idiots that has a conversation going on 24/7 about all types of live streaming. So if you have an interest in that, you're on Facebook, come on over to Streaming Idiots. We'd love to have you be part of our class. We've got about, last time I checked, about 1,500 folks. Not everybody's active, but a lot of folks are very active, and they're very willing to share. And it's the same kind of, streaming idiot attitude, which is you can come in and ask dumb questions, even though they've been asked 60 times before. Somebody will take some time and answer them with you. And it's a great chance to meet other folks that are in the same industry, and you never know, you might be in the same town. So that is the show for today. Let's see if I've got the outro done correctly. We had a little problems with that last week. And hang around for the post show. I'm Tom Sinclair. This has been Streaming Idiots. Loved having you. We'll see you next week.